Zapa mutima, zapa mutima, zapa mutima.
Hello, you are on Zapa Mtima TV show, brought to you courtesy of Gavi Beverages, the manufacturers of Elixir Kombucha, which must be your favorite health drink by today, I should think. And of course, we have a special guest on the show I will be introducing on the other side as I give you our health tip. Only on Zapa Mtima.
Zapa mutima.
Elixir?
That's me.
Nah, I meant the kombucha.
You can have mine.
Now that's a real deal.
The real deal is Elixir.
Elixir Kombucha, the real deal.
Zapa mutima.
Welcome back. You are on Zapa Mtima, and of course, before I introduce our guest, let's talk about our health tip for today. All we're doing is a bit of kidney health. Now, water is the best thing to drink for your kidney health because it gives your kidneys the fluids that they need to operate well. Now, water, of course, is a fluid with no caffeine. It doesn't have any sugar, no additives, which don't help your kidney. Remember, drinking water is very good for your kidneys. 2 glasses if you can, every morning before you take anything. Our guest on Zapa Mtima is a female jazz artist. She's a songwriter, she's a performer. She has had successful local and international gigs. Her music is a fusion of modern beats and rhythm with, authentic sounds of the taste of Zambia. Best known in the music circles as Auntie Maureen. Maureen Lilanda, welcome to Zapa Mtima.
Thank you, Kennedy. I am very happy to be here. Zapa Mtima.
Zapa Mtima, obviously there's so much in that Mtima.
Yes, there's a lot.
Yeah, so we're honored.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Born 1967. Kale, Papitenshita.
Nawe kali mwandi.
When did you discover, Maureen, that you have that amazing voice for song?
I just knew that I could sing, and I knew that I loved to sing. I was told I had a good voice, but it's not something that I knew, and I didn't know that it would take me 40 years later still using the voice. So I was discovered when I was about 15 at St. Mary's after a variety show by Richard Chanter, who was the manager of Ridgeway at the time, which is Southern Sun now.
Yeah.
And from then, I didn't look back.
How many albums
8.
have you released?
I have 8 albums.
8 of them.
Yes.
Wow. Successfully.
Yes.
Tell us about your experience being lead vocalist in the European, band.
Oh, that was a very... Oh, you know about that?
Yes, I'm telling you that I've known you like forever.
I think that's one of my most exciting experiences. By then, I was almost living in Belgium. I had a little flat in Belgium because my career was really flourishing in Belgium. And I had worked with an NGO here with Fountain of Hope. And in that tour, Rajat came from Belgium to work with the charity. There was a music producer and a band director who was there who spotted me and said, would like you to come to Belgium. And that's where the story started. And then I was incorporated in the band called Le Banque Nomade. And I was the female artist. We were 2 African performers in the band. The rest were all from Belgium. I mean, I think I learned so much from there. So many things, tips, professionally, business-wise, I learned in my stint in Belgium. It was awesome. I get to be spoiled because I'm the only girl half the time in the band. So it was really nice. Yeah.
What happened to Hamashi, the Acapella group?
As you know, Hamashi was comprised of individual artists. And I think we got to a point where our individual careers were clashing with Hamashiwi. timetables. So eventually it just sizzled out.
There was that
was
trip in Japan.
Yes.
Tell us about that experience.
That was, I tell you, I said, look, I don't even have the words to describe it. If ever we were treated like stars, it was Japan.
Wow.
From the time they booked us in Zambia to the time we got to Japan, we had this tour bus. I mean, I know what it is to have a tour bus that has a sitting room, a toilet, a TV room. We were given such treatment. And we never carried our suitcases. We had porters all the time. We had a dietitian who made a check of what we were eating. And you know, being in Japan, they have some very special taste, like raw. And you know, we wouldn't want to eat that, so we found ourselves always having burgers. And our dietitian at one point would just say, "Okay, no more burgers. We're going back to health food." So it was really a special trip.
When we come back, I want us to talk about your experience with the international artists and the guys that you met out there. You're on Zapa Mtima and meet us on the other side as we continue to look at the heart of Maureen Lilanda.
Zapa Mutima.
This is the real deal.
The real deal is Elixir.
Elixir Kombucha. The real deal.
Zapa Mutima.
Welcome back. You are on Zapa Mtima and we're talking to Maureen. Maureen, I want you to just, conclude in a summary that trip in Japan. There were people looking at the food you should eat.
Yes.
What you shouldn't take.
Yes.
You've had too much of this. There
was time to rest. You're not going out anywhere.
Yeah. Things we take for granted.
I tell you, even when they were for me, that's one of the most defining moments in my career, because even when they were saying, because we toured Japan for a month, and even let's say you were going from Lusaka to Kabwe, you just leave your room. By the time you're getting to Kabwe, you found all your bags are already in Kabwe.
Wow.
So whichever town we were going to, things were already put in. I mean, Japan, I can never express enough.
That sounds like presidential treatment.
Superstar treatment. So yes, Japan was one of the milestones in our career.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, with your experience, who are some of the international artists that you've been able to share stage with?
Now these days my memory fails me. Femi Kuti, Oliver Mtukuzi, Leona Lewis, Seal, Baba Mal, Magic System, Fra. I've met Oprah Winfrey, I've met Nelson Mandela, I've met Denzel Washington, I've met Will Smith, I've met
met
Oprah.
Will Smith?
Yes.
Yes,
I even have pictures. The list is endless. I mean, even local stars, or you're talking about international stars. There are many black voices. There are many.
Okay, the list goes on. What major lessons you would say you learned? This is something that you notice immediately. You hang around with them. You're like, okay, this is different about my Zambian counterparts and these international artists. What would you say? 2, 3 major things you'd say you learned from these, international artists.
The 2 basic ones are humility and professionalism. Those are the 2 things I took away.
Humility.
Yes. I mean, I always talk about this story when I went to London and I was in the same room with Leona. I went as a Zambian artist with the to Mangara from Zambia, thinking that I'm a Zambian star.
Yeah.
And there were people fussing over this girl, and I couldn't understand because she was so humble, she was so down to earth.
Yeah.
I didn't know she's the one who sang, "Keep dreaming." So even me, I'm giving her attitude, and then only when I came back home and I'm showing my children the pictures and they're saying, "Mommy, you were with her." I'm saying, "Who is she?" And then they sang the song. I'm saying, "You're lying."
Wow.
Such humility. People like Denzel, you just ask, can I have a picture? Of course. There was nothing.
Denzel Washington.
Yes, he was with his beautiful wife. I was upset about the wife, but anyway.
Yeah.
I still could have they are the most down to earth. Someone like Oprah also shocked me, because you read the tabloids, you read the magazines, they always say she's got attitude.
Yes.
She was so down to earth. You asked for pictures and she obliged. I met Mike Pierce, one of the James Bond guys, Mike Pierce. Not Al Pacino. Anyway, I forget De Niro. Robert De Niro. All those are down to earth guys. I mean, so I came back with saying, okay, being humble and being professional really are important.
Tell me about the professional side.
Well, if we were asked, because there was a joint show that we were doing with all these people, and if you were asked to be at a certain place at a certain time, they were always on time.
Wow.
If they were told to do something, they did it. Unlike me, who tell you, I was calling you just now to say, I'm stuck in traffic. There's no
At least it's traffic that messed you up.
But still, sometimes it's really not. Sometimes you're just getting up late. Sometimes No, but they showed me that when it's time to work, it's time to work. When it's time to relax, it's time to relax. I mean, some of them off stage were friendly, but when we went into our dressing rooms and people are working with you, they didn't really. Someone like Hugh Masekela, for example, I remember once he was here and I took it for granted we were friends, and he came to one of my shows and I invited him on stage. Oh, my brother, bro, Hugh, come on. He refused.
Wow.
Because he did not rehearse, because it was not talked about prior, he refused.
But that was an opportunity for him to be seen.
No.
So a professional.
Hugh Masekela.
That's professionalism.
He refused, and backstage he just says, Maureen, I don't. Even Oliver. Because I've done songs with, I had done songs with Oliver, and I just took it for granted. Even he refused. He just says, "Oh no, Lupo." He used to call me Lupo. He just says, "Lupo, I don't do that." So
when we come back, let's talk about your awards. I want to know what awards you've won. You're on Zappa Mtima, and we're looking into the heart of Maureen Lilanda. Join us on the other side on Zappa Mtima.
Zappa Mtima.
This is the real deal.
The real deal is Elixir.
Elixir Kombucha. The real deal.
Elixir?
That's me.
No, I meant the kombucha.
You can have mine.
Now that's a real deal.
The real deal is Elixir.
Elixir Kombucha. The real deal.
Zappa Mtima.
Welcome back. You are on Zappa Mtima, and we're talking to Maureen Lilanda. Maureen, your awards. How many awards? What awards? Which one strikes you?
Oh, I think the very first one, when I was about 18 or so, was the talent show, the Zambia Search. I even forget now, it's been so long ago. I think I got that one in 1987. It was a national talent. I think that's even what catapulted me to where I am now. It was a national competition, and I came out first. And in the finals, I was the only female standing at the end of it all. And I think that for me is significant, because it was the beginning of the Maureen that we know. I have 7 Goma Awards, I have 2 Azami Awards, I have 1 Cora nomination, I have 2 CEO awards from South Africa for most influential South African Southern region female artist, and also 1 for Zambia from the same South African company. I have the Anakazi last year, yeah, I think, or the year before, for the most influential female artist. Which other ones have I forgotten? I'll be killed. But yeah, as I say, my memory. I have a room where I've put all these. I'm not one to display them, so I think I've tended to even forget. But there are quite a number of them. I do not display my albums in
We'll
my
take
home.
shots of them.
I mean, not my albums, my awards.
The trophies.
I don't.
You know, I've lost count already. All right, okay. What do you think about the media industry and the crop of journalists we have today? Reasons being, of course, you're a journalist as well. Yeah, what do you have to say about that?
I think we've lost it slightly. I say that having been through that unfortunate story about me, and you look at some of the media houses that carried it, they were quite credible houses, and I'm saying, but why would they not verify that? And just for that is why I say I think we've lost it somehow.
Yeah.
We don't investigate. Well, I mean, you're telling me things that I've even forgotten. I remember off screen I said, "Oh, you've done your research." I think that's slightly missing, because right now we're into this digital era of numbers.
Yeah.
So you want to have the scoop, and it will make your page popular.
Yeah.
And we forget that we're
At the expense of professionalism.
Yes.
And
Yes,
yeah,
we are supposed to be the mirrors as journalists, for society. But now it's just about the accolades, and should I be? I'm the first one to get it out there, without really going back to the principles of being a journalist. Slightly we've lost it. Well, they're a bit innovative, but in terms of research, we've slightly lost it.
Yeah, because I'm thinking there's a lot of information out there from different angles, unprofessionals, and just almost everyone is a journalist now. As a reporter, people just share information. So we ought to rely more on the professionals now than then.
And then also, I know in our time we were taught bad news is good news, but I think now it's also borders on umulomo. If something just happens, I'm the one. If Maureen was caught stealing, I should be the one. There's no balance to even good news. There's a breakthrough with this. There's so many jobs found. It's too much. It's almost sensationalizing the stories these days. And we were warned in our days about sensationalization journalism, but now it's that you must go that way to sell.
We are seeing images we're not supposed to see.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, when we come back, I want us to talk about you as an advocate, for good health and, GBV, child abuse and stuff. You are on Zapa Mtima, and of course we are talking to Maureen Lilanda, only on Zapa.
Zapa Mtima.
This is the real deal.
The real deal is Elixir.
Elixir Kombucha. The real deal.
Zapa Mtima.
Hello, you are on Zapa Mtima, and of course we are looking into the heart of Maureen Lilanda. Vakumangalande, Valipitana, Denzel Washington, Will Smith, Mandela. So, Ndinama Mandela panoenika. Maureen, it's so nice that you could come,
No, thanks for having me.
You are an advocate, of good health, GBV, child abuse, etc. How does that make you feel, as an artist, a mother and a grandmother? But before we even go there, how is it that you got involved in this?
I think people have seen my track record, the longevity of my career, and I must be useful for something, relevant for something. So I find most of the organizations approach me to be the face of a certain drive, and I think I feel I should, if that's the last thing that I can do on it, because I don't have the money to give. So if I can lend my voice and my face to a good cause, why not? So I find myself in so many of these advocacy programs. Yeah.
So how did it start? You know.
Well, I mean, you get approached. Maybe also it's because of the songs you sing.
Yeah.
The certain songs that have certain
So
messages.
depending on what you sing, certain organizations may not approach you.
Well, I don't know. It was just an example, but yeah, they may not. Sometimes maybe it's the character. Sometimes it's through conversations with people, and you're talking and you're saying, "Oh, I feel bad. I don't know how to." Certain
So
causes.
it's beyond just being a star.
Yes.
There's something else that people look up to.
Yes.
Okay.
Or not
look
even
out
up,
for.
Yes.
Rather.
Yeah, that's the word.
Okay.
So yeah.
What's your inspirational message to somebody out there trying to push, genuinely, so that they could be, motivated?
Perseverance, hard work, and believing in yourself. I've adopted this new tagline: just do you. Do you.
Do you.
Yes, as long as you're not you're not harming anybody or whatever. Love yourself, embrace yourself.
Yeah.
Do you.
Yeah.
And if you want it enough, I don't know, not even to brag, but I found myself in a position that if I really want something, it normally comes to pass.
Wow.
Not easily on a silver plate. Sometimes I'm frustrated. So now I feel like, let me just stay on this farm and look after my goats and my chickens and forget about it. But the drive still comes on. And if the drive is still there, carry it on. Whoever has that passion, that light burning in them, just follow it. And one day there'll be a break. Sometimes it's bleak.
Oh, yeah.
But also don't sit at home and think it will fall from heaven. No, maybe try and work towards it. Yes, sometimes resources are bad. Yes, sometimes you don't have people to talk to, but somehow find a way to find your breakthrough.
Yes, indeed. Mr. Ambassador Matuida actually talked about passion. And apparently, most of you guys, when you talk about, that motivation and, that inspirational message, you always bring out the passion. So it's like the passion really stands out.
It has to be there because you'll give
that's
up.
what pushes you.
Yeah, otherwise you'll give up.
Excellent. When we come back, we're coming back to the quick question session. You need to answer all my questions within a minute or so.
I'm scared.
Don't be scared. You are on Zapa Mtima, and we are going straight into the quick question session after this break. Only on Zapa Mtima. Welcome back. It's time for the quick question session. Maureen, which comes first? Family or work?
Family.
Family.
Yes.
Okay. Two relationships at the same time?
No.
It's modern. You don't know.
Okay. I'm old school.
Have you ever beat traffic lights?
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yes, given a choice, shoes or hair?
Shoes.
Shoes.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Favorite holiday destination?
Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Yes.
Oh. What's Lilanda to buy? Question you don't like.
How old are you, or how much do you weigh? Those are the two I don't like.
You're a public figure. You expect that to be a secret. Okay, try again. Eating out or at home?
Eating out.
Obviously. Okay, all right. Two favorite actors in Zambia and two favorite actors out of Zambia.
Okay, Uncle Patrick, I don't know what his real name is in Pali. And there's another one in Pali. I forget the name. And then internationally, obviously it's Denzel. I've had a crush on him for the longest time. And
you've had a crush on Denzel Washington.
And you know what? It comes back. Remember what I was saying, that I put my mind to it and something happened?
Yes.
Honestly, there were two people I had a crush from when I was young.
Wow.
So one of the artists I worked with was Jonathan Butler. I forgot to mention.
Oh yeah.
And when I was in college, I had his poster in my room.
Wow.
And I just would say, this guy. And the day we were performing together, I was like, goo goo gaga. And then later in life, Because again, even that was, my son looks almost like Denzel, and my husband used to get upset about me saying Denzel.
Okay.
And when I met him, I said, look, Lord. So for me, to be honest, I've been blessed in so many ways. But when I put my mind to it, I'm running a kitchen right now, a little restaurant.
Oh yeah.
If I tell you that I've been buying things from 15 years ago, 20 years ago, with the logo that I'm using now, it's come to pass. So it's not even a joke when I say, when I put my mind to it, it does pass.
So as a man thinks, so is he.
Yes.
And he shall surely taste. Whatever.
And when I got this restaurant spot, I was just taking things out of the shop, and the workers were saying, so what's the chocolate? I said, believe me, this is a collection of 15 years.
Wow.
In the making in my head. So, actor would be Denzel, because he was my crush for the longest time. Coming back to your question, the second one, maybe this one that passed away, the Wakanda guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What's his name again?
Yeah. Imagine, would be shot for not even remembering his name.
Listen, which do you prefer? Teenage life or adult life?
Teenage life.
Teenage life.
No responsibilities.
Would you run for president, given an opportunity?
Yes, I would.
Maureen Alim. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming through.
Thanks for having me.
I have a present.
Oh, thank you.
From Gavi Beverages.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you. Another award.
It's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this is yours. Health drink from Gavi Beverages.
Oh my gosh.
Enjoy. Stay healthy.
Thank you. I will stay healthy. Oh.
That was Zapa Mtima for today. Meet us, join us next week at the same time, only on Zapa Mtima. Bye-bye.